in the darkest corners of outer space. The fate of the galaxy lies in the balance. But have no fear, adventurer. Introducing the 6-foot tall, spandex-clad, intergalactic vigilante known as Tailless. Join Tailless, Ice King Jet, and his fiery love interest Adelaide as they answer the call to defend the galaxy. Does Tailless have what it takes to save the day? Find out. In Adventures of Tailless in Outer Space Collected Edition. Now, for the first time ever, you can get your hands on all things Tailless. 6 short mini comic adventures in one book. In each new adventure, Tailless faces off against a new and ever more dangerous threat. Discover the origins of Tailless in the bonus material section. An expansive deep dive into the character's creation, featuring every single image, story, and fan art of Tailless ever created. What are you waiting for? The Adventures of Tailless in Outer Space Collected Edition is out now, only on Indiegogo. Back the hottest crowdfunded comic of the year. Adventure lies in your hands.
I think you're still muted, Dori.
I'm still muted. Well, I saw thank you, Graphic Goose. He said there was an echo, and then I hit mute, and I'm like, I should automatically be muted, but maybe that was probably hopefully that fixed it. I'm not sure. I'll have to watch it in playback. Hello, good morning, Aria.
Hey, good morning. It's like almost it's 5 o'clock here, so
I was gonna say it's morning for me.
Yeah.
Definitely in Aria time. We are henceforth going to change the world
to Aria time. I like that.
To Aria time.
I like that. People better listen.
I know you're I wanted to say the UK, and then I wanted to say England, and then I was being lazy and didn't want to go look it up, and I just put Aria time.
Yeah. I like that. People better listen, because I'm going to be using it from now on, and I expect everyone to keep up with me.
So real quick, because I've never asked and it didn't need to, is it Black or Blackness? Does it matter?
Well,
is that...
my name is Aria Black, but Blackness is my Twitter handle, right? Because it sounds cool, so that's what I went.
It does sound cool.
Yeah.
What I wanted to play the video right off, because I love video production, and I love how music is put to pictures and the theme and the feel of it. And did you create your trailer, or who created your trailer?
Yeah, I did all that myself.
I'm not surprised.
I hired a voice actor, and that's just it's not royalty-free music. I think I paid like a small fee, but this, music you can use off the internet.
It's worth it depending on the song, and yes, definitely worth it. Even if you do pay a certain licensing, depending on the song or the music, that definitely makes a difference. It believe it or not, it actually totally makes a difference how good the music is on something like that. And having done some of my own videos for my poetry, I listen and I watch for things like that, and so it was well suited to start it with that. So for those of you watching, thank you for being here. Please feel free to throw up a comment or a question for Aria while I've got him on the hot seat in the spotlight, so to speak. And so for this first part of spotlighting the masters, Aria is amongst those that I consider a mentor and a guru for me to go to when I have questions and pick his bright, beautiful brain. But we're going to start with some spitlighting, which is a form of spitballing.
Okay.
Just cute little ways to get to know Aria the man, as opposed to Aria the artist, the creator, the rest of it. So
okay, let's do it.
Now I forgot to edit this for a man.
Well, what have you done?
So, This is technically supposed to be just sneakers or boots. I'm gonna change the question. So
Okay.
I have it for women. I have
Well,
like
leave it as
You want to answer it anyway? Flip flops, sandals, heels, sneakers, or barefoot?
okay. I'll have you know, Dori, I was voted third hottest female in Comicsgate.
I think that Aria, I kind of knew that a little bit, and I've heard them tease you, but it's funny that I forgot that I forgot to edit the question for gender.
Yeah, I mean, check this out. See?
Yes, that's your girl. I thought that is you.
That's me gender flip. Commie Mark did that, and
No.
yeah, he told me. Oh, he said some very gross things I don't want to repeat. To be honest.
Grumpy old ninja Kintaro. Oh, and I don't know if I'm saying the last part of the name right, but it says, "Let me share the stream real fast. First, I still need to backtail us, so don't take that campaign down."
Ooh, dude, get in on it while you can.
Well, that's a good point, and the link for the campaign is in the description of this live feed, as well as pinned on the YouTube. So if you watch or go to YouTube, it's pinned there. Michael McCarthy says, "Well deserved win." You must be talking about the most hottest female.
Yeah, I'm coming for that #1 spot. I will definitely win.
Who has #1? I know it's
Oh,
not me.
I know who had it. Joe Capitano got #2, and then #1 was. I don't remember now. I can see the picture in my mind, but I can't remember who it was.
Okay, well, so the real question is boots or sneakers?
Oh, definitely boots. You should see my cowboy boots there. That's where I wear everywhere. Yeah.
Not only boots, but cowboy boots?
Yeah, black cowboy boots. That's like the only stuff where I wear.
That's rad. See, I would have guessed boots, but I wouldn't have guessed cowboy boots.
I got like I have Doc Martens and all that, the standard, but yeah, I like my leather jackets and cowboy boots. Wow. That's my vibe.
That's hot. Okay, hoodie or jacket?
Leather jacket with tassels. That's my thing.
Michael says Phil Diaz.
Phil Diaz, yes. Yeah, he's one hot babe.
So you said jacket?
Yeah. I got this thing, right? For leather jackets with tassels, right? They have to have tassels or fringe, or I don't wear them. And I got this bright white one, which is really flash, and it's fun to wear that one out to just the shops,
Yeah.
Everyone stares at you, and that's just the sort of thing I do.
No, I think that's awesome. I don't know the terrain or the geographical area of where you are, but do you have a preference for beach or mountains?
I live in the valleys of South Wales, right? So,
okay,
like literal valleys. So mountains on either, like I'm looking around. I'm in the, right in the middle of a valley here. But I don't know. I think I prefer mountains actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a beach for you to travel to?
Yeah. I live in South Wales, so we're like an hour away from the coast.
What is the beaches like there? Is it a surf thing, or is it more just for relax, lay back? There's no real actual surf.
Have you ever seen Gavin and Stacey?
I don't think so.
No, just a British sitcom. It's set in Barry Island, which is one of the beaches here. I don't recognize it as a legitimate part of Wales because it's a bit disgusting there. But our beach life is like it's how you imagine English beaches, right? Even though we're in Wales, it's like typical English beach life,
I grew up in Louisiana, and the Gulf of Mexico is there. And yes, there are beaches. There are beaches to go to, but it is nothing compared to the surf you're going to see on the West Coast where I live now, which is San Diego, or East Coast, because I have a guy friend who's a surf instructor in New Jersey, and their surf gets nuts.
Yeah.
Being
Johnny Cage in the chat has it right. Sand is too coarse. Yeah, that's exactly
it gets
my
everywhere.
thoughts.
This is true. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is a part of your diet there,
Oh,
but
hell yeah.
peanut butter, creamy or
Chunky, chunky peanut butter in absolutely everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you don't want to use the creamy for anything?
Nah. Nah. I like it chunky.
Hey, it's amazing some of the reasons I picked these in particular is the passion that comes out of some people depending on their choices for food can be quite hysterical.
Yeah.
Bagel or donut?
Bagel. I'm not huge on sweet things, so bagel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now this is a little different. Switch from food to something a little more whatever. If you could pick only one spirit animal or a creature, it doesn't have to be a real thing, what would it be?
Okay,
And
I got this one.
You got this one?
It's not really an animal, but
Okay.
I would really like to be like Medusa, like my hair turns into snakes.
Really? Ooh, I'll have to send you a picture of a Medusa I painted. It took me 4 weeks to finish her.
Yeah.
She was a piece I did on paper for my oldest boy. So she technically is not something I could ever sell. One day I might actually have her you know how they can take a good high quality image and put it on a canvas?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do that with her at some point. Because I'll never sell the original because it was for my son. So the Medusa thing, why though?
Because it look cool. That's it.
Because with the snakes.
Yeah, I like snakes as well. I have a thing. I have a thing for two-headed snakes. Right, I can't explain it. There's a character in the very first Taylor's comic, right, which has kind of two heads. He has one head, but it's split in half, right? And I don't know why. There's just something visually about two-headed snakes that I find appealing, and that kind of translates to the Medusa thing. I find like a head full of snakes kind of interesting.
Oh my god! Okay, so not to interrupt you, but Graphic Goose says peanut butter in the bin.
Yeah, you can get in the bin and all, Goose.
Burnt Scribe says peanut butter is disgusting. Graphic Goose says donut. And Bristolian Dave is here. All right to me, babas.
All right to me, babbers.
Lion, so you can have the hair.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Cooking food, thought I'd pop in, didn't realize I wasn't subbed. Dave!
Blasphemy.
Stop flirting with her. Oh, no. Shh. So, have you ever dressed up as Medusa? You have the hair to turn it into something. You could totally do braids or some kind of dread or something with your hair to turn them into snakes.
Yeah, that would be cool. You know what? I should have done that. It's Halloween. I should have.
Right.
I should have thought that.
I know. I didn't dress up. I'm gonna dress up for PromCon on Sunday. I'm not doing that today. Okay. So then the next one in here. When you go to the movies, you're taking the girl. What is that treat? Go to movie theater treat you've got to have when you go see a movie.
I like peanut M&Ms.
Ooh, that's very specific. I love it when you can always tell someone's got very specific.
Yeah, like my tastes in sweets and stuff is really American. Is like how I describe it because I like peanut M&Ms. I like pretzels. I like Reese's. I like these like salty, savory sweets. You know.
I thought that not the stop flirting with her, Dave. I didn't read the Dave part. I thought he was talking to you. And then I just saw Bristolian Dave Goose. I caught on. I'm like, wait, what? Oh, that was for Dave. He was telling Dave to stop. I've never found Dave to be flirting with me. Yeah, sweet and salty is definitely a combination of sorts. And it makes me think of what you said about Medusa and why you like her, or you couldn't really figure it out. But I don't know. Do you ever feel like you have a duality to your personality that other people don't necessarily have? Like your two sides, you know?
That's a tough question.
Well, I would agree. I mean, I don't know. I think you're a total sweetheart, but you're also a man who says blackness as his call sign.
Yeah, I was having this issue the other day in that, like, I'm a Catholic, right? I'm pretty adamant about my faith and all that, but then I walk around in band shirts with like pentagrams on them, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess you could say that, but
you know, I as a fellow Catholic, that I jokingly say I'm a recovering Catholic, but that's okay. It is. I still have my rosary. I still say it a couple times a year. I still use the prayers. There's something comforting to the how I grew up, but I am also that girl that will do. I'll dabble or I do Buddhism. I pray and I meditate and I studied Tantra. I'm all over the fucking place when it comes to that. And what I say to that, because you weren't asking for an opinion, but what I say to that is that makes you a better spiritual person, in my opinion, because a lot of people get like pigeonholed, or not pigeonholed, but they get blind to anything outside of their little world. And that's
like
blows my mind.
I could never be one of these people who, you know, goes knocking on doors to, you know, preach the gospel or anything. But yeah, I guess there is somewhat of a duality there.
Yeah, my computer, I don't know if it's my computer, but did this weird glitchy thing for a second. Okay, so Bristolian Dave says popcorn is his cinnamon 100% popcorn. Graphic Goose says no, popcorn goes in the bin with the peanut butter. Ola and Hell, they're just saying hello to each other. And Burnt Scribe says, I think we could all do with good prayers in these current times. Absolutely. Okay, so the last part of spitlighting, the last question in here. My microphone keeps trying to disconnect on me. What movie?
Okay, I think I'm on my own on this one. Can you hear me, Dori? You let me know when you can hear me. I'm getting zero.
I can hear you. You're fine. But
okay, cool.
My external camera is what I use for my microphone, because the one on this laptop can sometimes make too much noise. So hopefully there's not a bunch of noise along with my voice. Okay. The movie you'll recommend before any other movie. No self-respecting person should go through life without watching what movie, Aria?
Dirty Dancing. That's my favorite movie ever.
Don't put the baby in the corner.
No one puts baby in the corner.
That is like the least expected answer I thought I'd ever hear from you.
That is not a manly movie, right? But I fucking love it. I love that movie.
Actually, in a lot of ways, you would think it really is in so many ways. Like when I think of Johnny and the way he protects her, or the way he protects Penny, and how he's so misunderstood just because of who he is. He's assumed to be the guy that got her in trouble, and he's in a lot of ways, Dirty Dancing is an example of the differences in the way men are treated based on their social status.
Oh, this is weird that I just brought Dirty Dancing up, because I was on a Karate Kid stream just now with the Saturday morning cartoon guys, right? And the way I describe Dirty Dancing is it's Karate Kid for girls. It's like the same plot, except at the end they have 100%. A dance instead of a fight, you know. And
you're not kidding. It's very Greasers versus the what were they called in oh my god, in The Outsiders. There was the Greasers and there was the kids. There was the kids with the black hair and the leather jackets and the oh fuck, I can't even remember. Graphic Gooses didn't realize this was a religious stream. No, but we are here.
He hates it when I get all preachy.
To each their own. It's okay. You can pray and you can also not. Let's see. They're just talking at each other. Haven't seen Dirty Dancing. How dare you, Graphic Goose?
He doesn't like peanut butter. He doesn't like dirty dancing. What's the
Right.
point? You need to get cultured, my dude.
Is that thing you were describing what we were describing and what we were talking about in terms of the way these two different men were treated or the way the men were treated? Is that a trope? Would
It's like,
that be a trope that kind of like that?
uh-oh. I did not hear the last bit of what you said.
I know. Damn. My computer. Nobody else is using Wi-Fi here. There should not be a problem. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Don't worry. I live in Wales. We share one Wi-Fi outlet between us all. So don't worry. I know the struggle.
It's normal. Like I would be used to that if it was later in the day when all the roommates were using the whatever's, but
yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good choice. I love that one. Go back. Okay. It wouldn't let me. Okay. So now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to switch you over to what's called rapid fire. Rapid fire words are words that I always create 5 words that are just for you. Like these words came to mind. We already touched on this one, blackness. But do you want to go into more in depth as to where that came from and why you use it and that jazz?
It's just like a heavy metal spin on Aria Black. So I thought it sounded cool, and I wanted to do like before I came up with the Twitter handle. I wanted to make a podcast called the Aria Blackness Podcastness, and I changed it to just the Blackness Podcast because I thought that sounded better. But that's where the name came from. I plan to do the podcast. Right?
Yeah, it does. It actually does. It's memorable and it stands out. And how cool is it that you have a name that led to that?
Yeah. That's and this is like the whole vibe, right? Like I live in the void right now, and black t-shirts, black everything. So
the outsiders were the socks and the greasers. Thank you, Burton.
Yeah.
I was dying. I couldn't remember what
he's got it.
Thank you. Is there still time for another entry or two in the campaign? I do believe the campaign is still active in demand. Is that what he's referring to? If so, then yes.
Yeah.
Outsiders actually was a decent book. It's a very good book. The Outsiders is a very good book. Okay. The next word on here is kindness.
Oh, everyone should have a little kindness in their heart, right? I think everyone needs to show a little more kindness in their day-to-day lives.
It absolutely, when I do these words or pick these words, I think of the person and I go into my like little musing spiritual place and I go, what does Aria bring to mind? And that was on the list. So definitely one of the kindest people I've ever met. And definitely, no offense to anyone else in the comic book world, kinder than most of them.
Okay,
a lot of you guys.
We'll keep that one to a secret between us.
We just said it live on the stream.
Well, I like to think I'm kind of like I like to think I'm approachable at least. And
my campaign, no, my campaign. I'm like a week behind on getting my mailings and stuff out, but no, I'm done with mine for the moment. Your next word is rock and roll.
Oh hell yeah, I love rock and roll.
Tell us your favorite musicians.
Kiss, you know Kiss, right? Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley.
Of course I know Kiss, and I already knew the answer to this question, or I guessed the answer to this question. I didn't. There's not a lot to recon on Aria. He doesn't have a lot on social media, but I found what I could find.
Obsessed is not the right word. I've just been totally enamored with Kiss ever since I was like ever since I was a little kid, and.
What do you like more, the presentation of the band, the way they look, or is it the music?
It's just a good time. Everything they're doing, right? It's like
I love that.
Yeah, it's just a good time. They're just having fun. Like whenever their songs come on, whatever it is, I know every word. Like I know every move from the music videos. I just,
That's
I love
right.
Kiss. Yeah,
And you play guitar as well, right?
I do. I used to play in bands like a lot before I really got into the comic book thing.
Do you miss it?
Yeah.
Do you still have a guitar?
Yeah. I've got loads. But I I like for a while there was three things I was doing. It was the art, music, and then I'm also really into boxing and martial arts, right?
Nice.
And for a while I was doing all three kind of half-hearted, and I figured out a few years ago the one I was least invested in was the playing guitar. So for the past few years, I've just kind of kicked it.
Well, you're young enough. You can explore that and go back to it and put it down, pick it up. And as I, as someone that I do all kinds of different things, I have learned that I need to just leave what is not inspiring me. Just leave it
Yeah.
and let myself do something else. Okay, humor.
Humor.
Funny man. Funny man. As a comedian, I had to put this in here. I'm like, he is funny. You're a funny guy.
I don't think I'm funny. Sometimes I think I'm just loud, and the loudest person in the room gets the best reaction. That's
Well, this actually it came to mind for a couple of reasons. Not just because
yeah.
I do think you're funny. I do. But your guys' bargain bin on Mondays is one of the most entertaining shows. That's a live stream right now that I've got to watch. Grumpy says, I mean the coloring. I started trying out some. Today is the last day to submit for that. If you're talking about the coloring contest for my backers, then yes, today is the last day to submit those, because tomorrow I'll be on CromCon at 5 and I'll announce the winner.
Ooh, I'm gonna watch that.
Burnt Scribe says Detroit Rock City.
Hell yeah. I've seen Kiss like 3 times now, and they always open with Detroit Rock City. And for the past couple times we've been there, we have been right at the front of the stage when they play in Detroit Rock City. And for the first song or two, you can't see them because there is so much dry ice floating across the crowd.
Whoa.
You could just hear them, blasting your eardrums out.
Wow. And your last rapid fire word is inspiration.
Inspiration. What gives me inspiration? Oh, I don't know. That's tough. Anything 80s, anything that comes out of 80s gives me ideas for stuff. Like if someone shows me a weird cartoon or something.
80s?
Yeah, I love the 80s. I'm obsessed with like the music and the looks and the culture and all that.
This must be why we're friends, because I'm an 80s.
Yeah.
I'm an 80s teenager, man. I'm all about it.
Oh, hell yeah, me too. And yeah, that's probably my biggest inspiration is things from the 80s,
That's awesome. Well, the word inspiration came to my mind because I find you very inspiring, and you definitely have inspired me. And what is I'll try. I will try to work faster. Okay, so now I'm gonna switch to some questions I have for artists, particularly that are more where did I I'm like, move that off of the screen. Creativity was at its best in the 80s and 90s, and I've heard that. Do you find, and I don't remember who said it, but I was watching something where they were talking about the 80s was the last decade where you can really legit see a distinct difference in culture, in the way people dressed, in the music, and it seems over the last couple of decades that it's all just one big messy, muddy mess of hodgepodge. Whereas the 80s, like, the 80s, you see the 80s, you're like, that's the 80s. Like, and the same thing with the 70s and the 60s. But I wouldn't even go so well. The 90s does have kind of its own theme, flair, whatever, but not as much.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I don't know what it is. It's like it was like everything was bigger and wilder and fun, right? At least that's
Yeah.
the impression I get from movies and music and stuff, you know.
I think that there's a um, I don't remember who wrote it, but there's a quote that says, "Don't ever take yourself too seriously," or something like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think that the world in general, yes, it's a serious place, but I think just have some fucking fun, man.
yeah, yeah. That's it.
Okay, so what was the first artistic creation you remember creating? You created.
Yeah. All right, I got this one. It was wrestlers like luchadores, like masked wrestlers. My dad was drawing some, and I didn't know what drawing was at the time, so I asked him what he was doing, and he showed me how to draw, and so we started drawing some wrestlers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you said wrestlers, but then I thought I heard you say matador.
No, luchadores, so masked wrestlers.
Luchadores.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Mexican, right? So I love
Is that like a lucha libre thing?
yeah, lucha libre.
Okay.
So luchadores is the name of the wrestlers who fight in lucha libre.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have a a deep dark, not so secret thing for the masks that they wear.
Uh-oh. Oh, I've got a bag full of them in the other room.
Yeah, I can't. I still, honestly, quite frankly, am kind of shocked that I don't have one of those in my go bag. I don't. Well, I'm 51. I gave up go bags 10 years ago. Okay. Oh my God, I've missed.
Hey.
That's kind of, what did he say? I'm trying to there. I'm like, where did the comment? I'm like, where did I leave off? Creativity was at its best. Yes, we saw that when the 80s is still a decade of the decades. I would agree. I agree. I do like the 90s. Some of the movies from the 90s, I definitely dig.
Oh yeah.
I think creators were trying more. No hate for the 50s, 60s, or 70s. 80s comes from them, but I grew up in the 80s and 90s. They're on fire in chat, Aria.
Yeah. I think we've touched a nerve here with the whole
well, I know, right? Like, boom.
Yeah.
I know. Rather, I had hot to what? Oh, that's so funny. I went to a Halloween thing one time, and they had this room. It was called the Gladiator Room, and in the Gladiator Room, there's this guy on a throne, literally like this big, huge chair throne looking thing, and he was in a wrestler little, what is that, Speedo kind of thing.
Speedos, yeah.
And that was about it, except for the mask. And there was born.
And that's what got you started.
That's what got me started. I still haven't fulfilled that. I can't even call it a fetish, but it's definitely a thing. And I'm like, one of these days, someone's wearing one of those for me. Okay, what medium do you use? And I know you do the art for your comic book, but are there other things that you use medium wise? And what's your favorite?
I'm just boring pencil and ink. That's my go-to.
Oh, I would. That is anything but boring. I think that pencil, ink. Did you ever use charcoal or any other kind of medium?
Well, there's like, you've seen my comic book stuff on the internet and stuff, but before that I was like in university and in college and stuff, and I was doing some really good like digital paintings and watercolor paintings. And I was really good at it. I had a thing for painting in just the color blue, like just shades of blue with watercolor, and I did some really good like still life studies, and I don't know where they've gone. And the same thing for my digital paintings. I was really good at painting realistically, but I was like young and didn't understand how to back up my drawings very well. So I've kind of everything that isn't comic books, I've kind of lost that. It's just
Okay.
lots of time.
I love the blue. If you notice above you, I create your little tailless guy. I made a little PNG with him and stuff, and I picked the blue one because he matched the background. But also that shades of blue, for some reason, I think it's I see it in paintings, or it's one of the first colors I noticed in something. There's the blue. There's usually a blue or a pink. Like in the pink, I think that's in one of your t-shirts. I like the pink. That's why I picked the pink. That's why I picked the pink shirt to go with the
Oh, cool.
What's the largest? Now, you may not remember, but what's the largest art piece you've created?
I think I can show you. I'll show you. It's on my Instagram. I mean,
let's do that.
Yeah. Let me. I'll get this up. It's not like it was a print that we took to a show.
Okay.
It's literally the only convention I've ever done with Taylor stuff, and it was where is it?
You'll share it down at the bottom.
Yeah, I'll share it with you. There's got to be pictures somewhere. Oh man, did I delete it? Oh, I've got this. Let me share it with you.
I was gonna say, you said that when you were younger, you didn't know how to save your stuff, and maybe that.
Yeah, I was really bad with that, and I've kind of learned my lesson. This is like a backdrop for this convention I did, so it was blown up really big, and it worked well because there's those beautiful triple-titted demons at the bottom, so that really drew people's attention to the booth, you know.
And that's the example of the blue that when I look at a picture, it's still to this day, like blue is one of those colors that just stands. I don't know why, but it just stands out to me. That's rad. So this is the original. Is it a digital image, or did you sketch and ink and all that stuff?
Well, I guess the original is just 11 by 17 on Bristol board, but this was blown up and it was taller than me. So I guess technically it's my biggest piece, but
well, and I don't know how long that took you, but the detail and there's so much here and like that. How long did that take?
That took me ages, right?
I was gonna say, like, how fucking long did it take?
Here's the thing with this piece, right? This is something I'm going to talk about in the bonus section of my book. Leave the screen on and I'll show you something else now. Okay. This is an image that I keep trying to recreate as I sort of get better at illustrating. And the very first time I drew this image, I couldn't finish it because I just didn't have the skills to put on paper what I was seeing in my head. And then I drew this one, which was closer. And then I recreated the same image for the book cover that's out now, right? It's the same thing. Wow. So it's getting better. And again, I'm going to do the same thing on my next campaign. I'll redraw the image, see if I can get it, closer to what's in my head.
I can definitely see the difference.
Oh yeah, for sure, between those two. And remember, like the very first one I did, I couldn't finish it. I just physically did not have the visual vocabulary to finish the piece. So
I can relate to that. I've been, for the first time in my entire world in terms of art, I've been allowing myself to study other art in a more student way, as opposed to, I never wanted any rules on anything I did. I never wanted to do anything that was already in existence.
Yeah.
I never wanted to do anything like that. I didn't want to do anything like that. And so I avoided it. But what that did is it stunted my growth artistically. And it's why I know, I've been doing some practicing and I've been working on things that aren't mine, that are someone else's work, like my sketches, sketching some of the characters. I've done 12 characters so far. And there was a time where I was like, I'm not fucking drawing nobody else's character.
How do you find it now as compared to 12 characters ago?
Oh, it's so getting I get what you're saying about the progression and how you want to keep even redrawing that, because as I'm picking up what hit the nail on the head the most about what you just said is you didn't have the how did you put it? You put
the like the like
the
visual vocabulary is what I said.
yes, that the way you worded that was exactly where, like, because my head didn't want any part of realism. I'm not a realism. I'm still not. I'm still not interested in drawing realism. And Aria, I am super easily bored.
Yeah, yeah, same.
I am bored at the drop of a hat, like a pit. You get it. So easily bored. So for me to draw something that already exists is got to be the most boring fucking thing.
I get you. I don't find any enjoyment in that either. But I also noticed like the first hour or two of drawing a picture is the most fun, and everything after that is a bit of a slog to get to.
Yeah, I think that can be true for some things, and then the other things I feel like I have like, and okay, so like this painting I just finished.
Yeah.
It oh man, I was on fire. Like I was literally physically in passion, love, and just on fire with her. And then I fucking, she got stubborn with me. That's
your own painting got stubborn with you.
yes, and it's my own, I famous last words is if I say, oh, this came easy, or if this is easy. Because I felt like she came to life on canvas too soon.
Yeah.
Because then I couldn't figure out what I wanted. I couldn't get what I wanted. And anyway, okay. Gallery or art fair? Have you ever had your art? Now I know you've been to a con, but have you ever had any of your art shown in these kind of arenas?
I have like odd bits every now and again. It's never been a thing for me though, like a big thing for me, because I get really angry when I go to art galleries, right? Because I see a lot of the shit that's on the walls that I absolutely hate, and I think, well, you haven't even tried there, for example, and I'm just thinking like, why are you on the wall when there's better people, you know? That's and I it's one of my flaws because I can't get out of that mentality. I have a very like small, narrow, list of things that I enjoy, and anything outside of that, I'm like, I get annoyed.
Oh, you're preaching to the choir. I totally get you. One of the reasons why it's sort of similar. So one of the reasons why I had such a stubborn, belligerent refusal to do anything that wasn't original, like totally just from here, was I've seen some artists where I'll go to look at their their gallery or their picture or their website or whatever, and everything looks the fucking same to me.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, okay, another flower picture. Oh, another flower picture. Oh, another abstract picture. I have no idea what this is. And I'm like, to me, if I looked at 5 of your paintings and they all look like the same fucking painting, and I can't, man. I just can't. Talk about a pet peeve. Whoo! And then I'm like, so it's one of the reasons why I try not to do that. I try not to have a theme per se. I mean, there is a theme, there is a common denominator, and you can kind of tell my art apart from other people, but I don't do all portraits. I don't do all landscapes. I don't do all abstract. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Here's what I like about what I see you doing is that you're always on streams or on Twitter, showing your progress, showing what you're doing, and I like that. My problem is when artists, it's like the classic thing of a dot on a page, right? It's like what the fuck is that? Like,
have you ever heard of the guy who sold a duct taped banana?
Yeah.
Do you know the guy? Like I mean, okay, it was the dumbest fucking idea. The dumbest. It was such what do you call that? It was literally like the best shit I've ever seen anyone take on the stupidity of some of the way people think about art.
Yeah.
Fine art. Because he just literally, if you guys are out there watching, if you haven't seen it, go Google it. He duct taped a banana to the gallery wall as his own kind of representation of how stupid some of it is.
That's a ballsy move. I admire
That's
that.
what I mean. Like that he took the biggest shit on it in a way. It was like, I couldn't help but love that. I'm like, I would, you know, if money were no object, I would buy that guy's banana just because of the balls it took for him to do.
The ironic thing, right, is every time I go to one of these galleries, there's always an artist on the street outside who's doing some painting or some sculpture that is 100 times better than whatever is on the walls in there, you know. And it's I could you know, just stand out here and watch this guy paint for free, or spend £20 to go into this Ponce art museum to see it.
Yeah, there's we have Balboa Park here in San Diego that I keep wanting to go do that. I like just lay out a big blanket and put all my stuff around me and paint. I don't take my car for drives that long right now until my godson looks at the steering thing on it. But that's the only thing that's kept me from doing that, is my car. And so Grumpy Old Ninja says I have sort of opposite experience. Sort of started with comics, and I'm still learning about so much. Grumpy Old Ninja, I am no pro, but I'm not. I am not fine of modern art. Fond.
Not fond, yeah.
Pretentious and needlessly repetitive. The needlessly repetitive thing. Now I do have some paintings I'm doing that just came to me out of the blue this year. They're called Neons on Black, and I pre-paint the canvas totally black.
Yeah.
Aria, I think of you. I don't know. Maybe it was it somehow black inspired?
Inspiration?
Maybe.
I love that.
Maybe. A couple months ago, I had a painting. I didn't like how it was going. I didn't like how it was working out. So I said, "Fuck this!" And I sat there and I just painted the whole canvas black over an image. And then came back to that black canvas and painted a painting, which sold within 24 hours. It was snatched up. And apparently, I did tap into a visual that people wanted to see. They wanted to see these bright colors on a black canvas, because I've sold 3 of those now.
Yeah. That sounds like kind of pop arty to me, which is cool.
It was not normal for me. It's not a normal thing I do, and it just came out of the blue. And then it actually caught people's eyes enough for them to buy them. Okay, who's the one artist you would suggest others discover over any other? No matter who they go, they need to go find this artist and look at their work.
I got an easy answer. Arthur Adams, Marvel and DC artist. He's the guy I try to replicate every time I'm drawing. The reason for that is I think Arthur Adams has struck, because like I'm speaking specifically about comic books, right? Because that's my thing.
Yeah.
I think Arthur Adams is the one guy who has struck the balance between lots of detail in a drawing, but still keeping it simple like a cartoon.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about? I can bring
but I just pulled up. I just Googled him. Because I've heard a lot of names that I've never heard of before, because I didn't have comic book money. I'm just gonna put it that way. That didn't exist for me. I was a foster kid. Comic books were something. Is this on the screen now?
Yeah. This is Arthur Adams' Instagram account, and the stuff he's doing now is a bit different to the stuff I got into, but it's like crazy detailed, but he's got the fundamentals of cartooning down so perfectly. It's hard to explain, but there's things like line weight and how do I describe this? It's like I saw an interview where someone was trying to describe how you draw Wolverine, and Wolverine's got hairy arms, right? But the thing is, you don't want to draw every single hair on his arms because it looks gross. So the point was, like, you simplify it and it
Yeah.
becomes a cartoon, and that's how you deliver information visually. And I
Right.
really think Arthur Adams has mastered that, just enough detail to get the point across.
Exactly.
That's his whole thing. Like,
Well, and I think I can relate to what you're saying, because I know, like, for me, when I first ventured into the world, and I got it amongst the comic creators like yourself, I none of it interested me, because I was like, I don't have the kind of patience that would be required to do a lot of that detail and a lot of that stuff that you guys do, or a lot of what I was seeing from other people, not you, but from others. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm out. I got no interest. But then I started downloading comic books from the public domain that are comic books from, like, I'm particularly was reading Young Romance by Kirby Simon, were the guys that did it. And the art is very different. The art in the old comic books are what you're describing. What you just described to me is what I see in older comic books, where you get the visual, you get what you need to get artistically, and it's simple. But it's not fucking simple. None of that art is simple.
oh no, it's not. It's deceptively simple, right?
It's yeah, and I know I sometimes I hate using the word simple, because it makes it sound like I'm negating something here, but I'm not. If you can get the point across without all that busy work, you know what busy work looks like?
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel I do have a few of my paintings where I felt like I really should have stopped at point X, because I even allowed myself to go too far. Like, this is too busy, it's too much, and it didn't need all of this, and it could have stopped 3 phases ago, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Splattered paint across the canvas was this great work of art, comparable to classic works. It still boggles my colors on black canvas sound awesome. Yeah, I have some I've done. We read that one. I have some that I've done of my own, and then I had 2 commissioned pieces where I did the buyer actually picked what they wanted on their black canvas. So I come, of course, not from the comic book world, but I definitely have learned to appreciate some of the art that I've seen. But it's still, I don't know if it's because I grew up looking at paintings, or wanted to be a painter, or have always wanted to do that. I don't remember names necessarily like you guys, like art. So I did go look it up. I'm like, I gotta go look that up and save it. My favorite number 1 artist of all time for me is Gustav Klimt.
Right.
And he's still the one. Like, when I see these pretentious people that were like, when you were talking about people in galleries and people that are in galleries, and I just look at that and I'm like,
there's the difference is there's form to this guy's work. I'm looking at it now on Google.
Yeah.
This guy clearly knows how to paint, or whatever it is he's doing. He's got the fundamentals, as opposed the problem I have is the people who aren't even trying, and who are getting on the walls,
Yeah, and according to this, it says he is in he's still alive. He's only 58. Yeah. He's actually fairly young. And most notable works is Long Shot, The Uncanny X-Men, Monkey Men, and O'Brien.
Oh yeah. I thought you were talking about Gustav then. But
no,
Arthur Adams definitely still alive.
Gustav. Yeah, no, I wanted to go back to, I was talking about Arthur. Where's what you just said? I thought you were talking about Arthur.
No, I was looking at Gustav's work, and you can see this guy knows what he's doing, and that's
yeah.
that's really cool.
One of my favorite things about Gustav is he was commissioned to do some public murals.
Yeah.
And he did the paintings. They were like, back then, if you were going to do a mural in a building, especially a public building, you would submit three works of art on paintings or as paintings.
Yeah.
And he submitted these 3 pieces, and he was publicly roasted, not burned alive. He was never burned alive, but he was publicly roasted from just shamed publicly because they found his paintings pornographic, and he, because he was not a pornographer, but he was someone who was not afraid of using nudity. He would use nudity for all. He was a symbolist in his art, and I think he was allowed to do the paintings, but he had to do it their way, and he had to but he never did public commissioned art ever again. He refused after that. And those 3 paintings that he had submitted for the curators to approve or whatever supposedly don't exist, and they supposedly were destroyed. And I say supposedly because fine art like that, that's one of those things, they kind of go missing, and then they're probably in a private collection somewhere. But yeah, there's so much about him as a person that I loved, as well as the art itself. Okay, black and white versus color.
That's tricky because like all my work I do is black and white, right? Like I'm not a colorist, but then I also, like I told you, I like painting in just shades of blue, right? So I gotta go black and white though. That's my whole thing.
I have started one of the reasons why I've been penciling these characters, and I've been doing more pencil sketching, because I used to do only charcoal. That's the only thing I ever used to do. And what I'm liking about it is I went back, because I was never a color painter. Like, you see this stuff on my walls, that's new. Like, this is only 6-7 years old, painting like this. Because before, that's all I did was black charcoal on sketch paper. That's all I would do. That's all I would ever do. And being around the comic book world that I've been brought me home in a way to that part of me that I had left behind. And it's at that like you were asking me how it's going doing these characters and what I'm noticing that I take those pencils I've been doing, Aria, and I put them in a book. I don't ink them anymore. I don't put ink on them. I might ink digitally, like if I want, or I'll create the coloring pages I do sometimes. But I've been leaving my pencils alone.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't done that in a long time. And then I think the answer to this is probably Bristol.
I do everything on Bristol board pretty much. Yeah.
Now, I didn't know this before, but do you use smooth or vellum?
Smooth.
And is that because of the ink? Because I get different answers.
There's it's weird, right? If you use smooth, the difference is really minute, right? But I think it's really only the artist that notices it. If you're using a paper that has just slightly too much of a groove in the what do you call it, in this sort of surface texture, then you see these really fine veins of ink that bleed away from the lines. So it's really minute, but it gives, like, if you're doing like really fine detail in particular, gives it a slight fuzzy look, which is really annoying. The only difference with smooth then is it's easier to smudge your work. So especially if you're going in heavy with the ink, it's easy to. It hasn't dried yet, and you knock it and it smudges.
Oh, that's a great. See, I didn't know that. I knew. I was just trying to go off of wondering if I want to use Bristol when I do my volume 2 of the haiku book, for example. I was thinking about that. But I paint with watercolor, so using smooth makes no sense, because from what I've read, it's like it's not going to saturate. The watercolor needs to be able to saturate into the paper.
That's true.
And there are actual watercolor paper that are the exact same size as the Bristol boards. It's meant for watercolors, and I may use that. Okay, so I think I would say the answer is yes to this, but have you ever collaborated with another artist on the same piece? Not about the same project or the same book, but have you ever had both, like, two sets of hands on any of your art?
I don't think so. I think I would be too. I think I'd become a horrible person in that moment and just not give them any control. I'm too much of a control freak, you know.
Because you pencil your own work and ink your own work and do all your
Yeah,
own
yeah.
stuff.
I've
Yeah.
never had someone ink a drawing of mine, and I've thought about it, and I really don't like that idea because I'm way too controlling over what I do. Oh well, I mean, I've had pieces of mine colored. The front cover of my book is colored by Carlos Moreno, who's a
There you go.
yeah.
Well,
So
and
I
that's
guess
one of the
I have
reasons why this question came to mind, because as you know, I have this coloring contest for my backers, and
yeah,
I have submissions from my backers that colored my work. And there, part of why I did that, yeah, I want to have some fun way for my backers to participate and win a painting, hopefully. But I was that person that I didn't touch my work. No.
yeah.
Would you like to stay alive? Was kind of like, no, don't come near my art, you know?
Yeah.
And it's how does that feel? Like, because I know I can describe it, but how does it feel having knowing that someone else colored your work?
The thing is, when Carlos did it, is he absolutely nailed it for like he got the colors wrong, but it was just a case of me going on Photoshop and changing gray to white or blue to red, whatever, right? So it's just easy fixes. But to be fair, he doesn't know it's not Spider-Man. He doesn't know what Talos looks like.
Yeah.
But it was like I was lucky that he's such a talented artist. He nailed it, you know.
Nice. That's awesome.
But yeah, that's like I don't know. It's probably one of my biggest flaws. Like I'm such a control freak. I would if someone inked my drawing and gave it back to me, I'd probably just re-ink it, knowing myself. I'd not that it wouldn't be a good piece. It just wouldn't be the way I see it exactly. You know.
I threw this up and I wasn't sure if you had a chance to read it, but Damon says, I only do black and white partly because I'm colorblind. I'm assuming that you pronounce it Damon. It could be demon.
Yeah, it's demon. It's demon. I'm pretty sure.
Is it demon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the thing though. I really like black and white comics too. Like just saturated, no colors. And the really really good thing about that is if you're a young artist, get yourself some comic books without color in them, because you can really see what the penciler and the inker are doing.
The lines,
that's the best way to do it. Like all of Arthur Adams' books, every single thing he's done in just black and white, I've got that, and
nice.
that was one of the biggest tools in my toolkit when I was learning how to illustrate.
So that is the last of those questions from this segment. I do know I do have a piece I did that I need to I have to get some things shipped out, but I do have a piece I did. She's a G.I. Jane from, I don't know if you ever saw that movie. But she's my interpretation of a G.I. Jane, but she's going to be inked by someone else. And then I've had the backers color those coloring pages of mine. But yeah, I still don't, other than that though, the collaboration thing, and okay, whatever.
I mean,
we'll see.
I would love to collaborate on projects with other people. Like when you had Max on, he mentioned doing something with me, and I really want to do that. Like work with Max, for example. And I want to work with other artists, but like the how do I say it? Like I like penciling and inking. That's what I like to do. So if I could do that and then they do something else, that's like my ideal thing.
Yeah, I could definitely see handing something to, I could see me doing. I could see me painting. Something of someone's, because when it comes, okay, so that is really it, Aria. I'm like, I feel like I could sit here for another hour and keep going and chatting with you, and that's, I have to admit, it's one of the reasons I gravitate towards certain people is I find them just intriguing or interesting, and you are definitely that for me.
Oh, thank you. You compliment me a lot, and it makes me blush.
Oh, well, one, it's all very true because I can't lie. I'm just not that girl, and I truly believe, you know, we got a little serious at the beginning, and I almost feel like I can't let you go until I ask this question.
Go on.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive?
Oh God. I should have prepared for this because you asked Max this one, didn't you?
I was like, do I ask him? Because there's four in this category, and sometimes I ask him, sometimes I don't. It depends on timing.
So this is when I die, right? When
Yeah,
once it's all over.
if heaven exists, you get there, and you know what's God gonna say to Aria?
I don't know.
What would you like him to say?
I'd like him to tell me I've been a good man. That's what I'd like. But
Nice.
yeah,
I
I'd
love
like him
that.
to tell me I've been a good man and everything's gonna be all right.
And would you ask him anything? Would you have anything to ask?
I'd probably be like, should I have stuck at playing guitar?
Oh, you know the answer to that question, right?
I don't know.
Well, no, the answer to that question is always very simple. And I'll tell you what I tell the people I mentor. If you just ask that question, the answer is yes. Because we don't ask questions. We don't, our heart and our passion, our whatever, it doesn't ask things unless it's meant to be asked. And
Yeah.
the answer to that question is, should you only play guitar? No. Fuck no. But the fact that you asked tells me there's something in there burning. There's something burning to play again.
I guess if you were to ask me now, the answer would be, which path do I take? Do I focus on one thing or do
No.
many things?
Do many.
You think so?
I'm not one of I've heard this a lot, and I've heard it on a couple of live streams where people think that if you spread yourself too thin, you're going to fail over here, or you're going to half-ass, or you're going to hodgepodge. No, I'm here to tell you, Aria, I know you know me well enough to know that between the poetry and the art and the writing and the videos I do for my poetry, it doesn't matter what I do.
Yeah. You do a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I refuse to be told by anyone out there that I can only do one. Don't fucking tell me that I'm going to only be able to paint paintings for the rest of my life. Because no, I'd rather not. Don't tell me I only have to write poetry. No, I'm not going to convince myself that I can only do one.
Yeah, the reason I say that is because I'm really competitive as a person. And like, I want to be the best artist in CG, for example, right? I want to be the best boxer, like, around here. So that's why I have that problem, right? Do I focus on one, or do I?
That just comes, and that just comes down to there is no perfection. That doesn't exist.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That doesn't exist. And being the best you can be, even if the best doesn't mean you're the best. And I'm not saying you settle for second best or you ever compromise your work. I definitely would not ever suggest that. I just wanted to make sure we didn't miss any. Demon says nothing. Ola and Hail. Specialist shine brighter, but jack of all trades survives anything. And that is exactly, so there's a phrase that says jack of all trades, master of none. And I am 100% convinced, Aria, my master, my guru, one of my mentors, you not only are a master, but you can absolutely master multiple things. I know you can.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. I wouldn't call myself a master though.
Do you know
I
what
don't
the
think you can call
definition of
yourself
a
that.
true master is?
What is it?
The truest master is not the man who can do these famous paintings and do all this art or play all this music. No. The real master is the one who's willing to see a student like myself and gift to them their wisdom and their mentorship and their guidance and their opinion and their even if it's constructive criticism. That's what makes a master.
That's cool.
Which is why, of course, of all the people to final out my 2021 of spotlighting the masters, it had to be Aria Black.
That's lovely. You made my day.
Nobody wants to answer this question, but let's get into the black part for just a minute before I let you off the hot seat.
Okay.
If you could damn one person to hell, who would it be?
Oh no.
It doesn't have to be a person. It can be a type of person.
Right. There's only one thing on this earth I hate, and it's bananas.
Bananas.
It's not a person or anything, but if I could damn bananas to hell, I damn bananas. I don't have it in me. I can't damn someone to hell.
I have to go back to the beginning and ask you though. Have you ever had a peanut butter and banana sandwich?
No, that's disgusting. It's the devil's fruit. It's
Did I disagree? It's
put peanut
for a man who likes peanut butter. I'm just amazed that you haven't at least tried that once.
No, never once.
Peanut butter and okay. All right. Well, you are
I have
officially
off. Very cool. I have strong opinions on things like go. All right. Just do it.
I know my internet's acting all jacky again.
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay, so you're officially out of the hot seat. You're out of the spotlight. No more, picking your brain. But this is that point in the show where I get to flip the switch and I get to give you the keys to the kingdom, so to speak, and I grant you one wish, and you get to ask me a burning question of your choice, whatever it is. I cannot be blackmailed, and I will answer you. So consider your choices wisely, because you can ask me literally anything.
Okay, I got it. Will you let me win your art competition?
No, I would not let you. Would you be able? Could you? Yes, of course you could win it, but would I let you win it? No. I love you so much, and I love you dearly, but I wouldn't do that out of favor. I'm not one of those people that would do that just out of pure favoritism. But
no, I had a fun afternoon coloring that one because I'm not a colorist, but it was just fun mucking around and playing with some textures and seeing what I could come up with. That
it's very surreal, and I get completely speechless when I think about anybody having colored my stuff at all, and I'm just like.
do you like seeing people sending you your artwork then?
Yes, it's amazing. Yeah. Well, it's cool because it's surreal. It's literally like almost like I can't even really describe it. Like I'm almost speechless by it. Like speechless. And I'm a fucking talker. Like I'm a writer. I know how to use words. And my one of my stand-up jokes is when I date guys, I tell them, hey, listen, I'm not only a comic, but I'm also a poet. So my suggestion to you is to stay on my good side and have me write poetry, because the last thing you want me to do is write stand-up comedy about you. Because I don't need katanas and machine guns and weirdo weapons, or not weirdo, but I don't need weapons like that. I've got a vocabulary.
You'll use your words.
Oh, I got a vocabulary. You don't even want me to use anything. My vocabulary.
That's very passive aggressive of you. I like that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So, but yeah. So going back to what your question about seeing, like, I think it was right around when COVID started. There was a woman I had just befriended over the internet. I've never met her in person. She's not from here, but she started following my artwork and started following my pages and stuff. And one day she asked me, she's like, "Do you have a coloring book?" And I'm like, "No, no." Like one, I wouldn't show. You know how you were saying about I post all these progress and I'll show the progress of things.
Yeah.
Before that, I wouldn't. You saw a painting of mine when it was done.
Right.
I didn't go live before Mother's Day of this year. I had never been live painting. Nobody had ever seen me painted live, ever.
How was that weird for you to do that? Was that?
It was an out of body experience.
Yeah. Because I've drawn live on a few streams, and I seem to like lose 50% of my ability as soon as the camera comes on, and it's not a nerves thing. It's just I can't focus on streaming and drawing.
Yeah,
you know?
It depends on what I'm doing, and I find things like this last painting. I started her with the intent I was going to do it all live, and I was calling it a series. I had even given it a name, and I got 3 streams in. I think I live streamed with her 3 times. And I couldn't take it anymore. I could not. There was something about that painting, the one I just finished. I couldn't, being live, I couldn't bring her to life the way I wanted.
Can I ask you another question?
I will give you a yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Why is it you refer to your paintings as he and she?
Oh, everything has a gender to me.
Yeah.
I studied Tantra. I'm a very amateur, not new. I've studied Tantra for a long time.
I don't know what that is. What is Tantra?
So Tantra is a practice. It is not a religion. It is similar to meditation, is an easy way to put it. A lot of people automatically assume that Tantra is sexually based, that it's solely about like learning how to extend and prolong orgasm, which is a thing. That is a thing. And it is something you can learn. And it is one of the reasons why people gravitate towards Tantra. But the core of it goes back to a place of knowing that the human body is a temple of worship for God. And when it comes to our relationship with inside of us, it's supposed to be about coming together to worship God. It's about coming together in a spiritual fashion. And there are Tantra practices that don't involve partners or don't involve another person. And for me, Tantra gave me, why did I even get on this Tantra thing? Oh, because of everything having a gender.
Yeah.
I'm like, why did I get on this topic of Tantra? Everything is masculine and feminine to me. Everything has this duality to us as humans. Some people call it femininity and masculinity. Some people just call it tough and soft. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to describe it. Yin yang. Yin yang, you know?
It's just I'm with you. Like on all of that.
It's like a car. I've named every car I've ever had. Like this was Orchid, something Orchid. I can't remember what I called her. Now this is the Black Widow from Into the Badlands. She's my only painting of an actual character from a show or movie or something. Everything else comes out of wherever it comes out of.
Okay.
And I do have one androgynous piece, but I did call it Willow.
Okay, I like that.
I use a lot. I like it. It's like, I don't know. To me, it's an African prince.
Okay.
I think I called him Willow. I don't know. But to me, like right off the bat, I don't see a gender in this. But yeah, I do. I call them she's and he's, and they're mostly, yeah.
That's interesting. I like that you personalize your pieces.
I show every piece, good or bad. Yeah. I do now. I do now. And I will allow. So before this year, what came about by being around comic book people, what came about by following people, the first person I ever discovered was Christy Shen. And because she was on one of my spotlight shows. And then, and then I met Rich Parada, and then I met Pops, and then I met you, and then I met everybody else. And I'm like, holy crap, holy moly. Oh my God. And, the first time I ever went live was when I started that oil painting, and it was a trip, but I never in a million years would have allowed that. Never in a million. Like I wouldn't, if you had told me last year I was going to paint live and let people actually watch me paint, I would have asked you what you were smoking because whatever it is really good. And now I'm willing to post like, look at this piece of shit I painted today, or look at like, I don't care. Like it took away, I don't know what it was, why I wouldn't do it before. Maybe it was embarrassment. Maybe it was, honestly, it was selfish. I didn't want people to see the process. I didn't want to share. I didn't want to be that. Remember how I described what a master was?
Right.
Yeah, I didn't want any part of that. I wanted to hide and covet. However, I did this. I didn't want any of you to know. Now I don't care. It's like, look at this. This is how I do it. And this is how I eat. And thank God for Bob Ross, because I wouldn't ever, none of these would be done. None of my paintings or art would be done, actual completed pieces, if it weren't for Bob Ross.
Are you a Bob Ross style painter? Are you
I have Bob
let's put happy cloud in the background kind of thing.
I wouldn't say I'm a Bob Ross style painter. However, I will say there is a Bob Ross moment in almost every one of my paintings where I sat there and I did something and I went, fuck, that's not what I meant to do, or this isn't what I wanted to do, or this is something. And the painting either stayed on the path I was going in it, and I figured it out or worked it out, because Bob Ross tells me, it doesn't mean it's over. We don't trash the whole piece just because we fucked up and made a mistake. Now, he wouldn't say fucked up.
Yeah, he'd probably say that a bit nicer, but I guess,
you know what I'm saying, Aria? But so he gives me two things. He gives me the reassurance that I can make a mistake and still fix it and move on. And he also gave me the reassurance that bitch.
Again, with the
seriously,
personalizing your paintings. I like that.
That canvas, that's my bitch. I'll tell you right now, when I have a canvas in my hands and I have the paint, it is as close to godlike as I could possibly tell you I get.
Yeah, it's creating,
because
right?
This is mine, man. Like Bob Ross said, this is your world. You're creating a world here. This is your creation. Oh my God, it's so funny. Have you ever watched any of the tutorials, the Ethan Van Sciver tutorials?
I've watched loads, yeah.
Okay, so because he's the Bob Ross of comic artist streams. Because the way he talks when he does his stuff, it's so soothing. And one of my favorite things EVS says, because he even says this when I think it was on Venom, he goes, you can do this however you want to do this. He's not real. And I died because EVS goes, guess what? He's not real. Like, and I'm paraphrasing now, but I'm pretty sure his almost exact line in one of two of the streams maybe is he says, it's not real. You can do it how you want.
I might clip you saying that just then to use in my own art streams in the future.
This is so funny. It's amazing.
I love that. That's
I love
nail on
it.
the head, right?
Right. He hits the nail on the head. And
Yeah.
EBS is slow. Yeah. Well, for someone like me who's never drawn like that, who didn't want to even fathom drawing like that, one of the reasons why I've only done, I think I've done 3 of the characters I've done are because I've watched his art stream. And Venom is my favorite. Venom's probably one of my favorites I've ever done. Is my Venom. And but it cracked me up where he said that. He's like, his flash. He's like, he's doing the lightning, right? And he goes, just do the lightning all over here and do it over here. You can never have enough lightning. Or something like that. And I just die because it's so Bob Ross. He is so Bob Ross the way he talks when he's doing his art.
I've never thought of that, but yeah, I see it now.
Oh my god! Now you go and you watch that one back, Aria, you're gonna crack up. Like it's gonna make you die laughing. I can't. I'm getting teary-eyed, dying laughing at it because So yeah, it's one of the things I love is when someone reassures me to do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah. It's
I don't like being dictated to. I'm a freedom fighter. I'm an Aquarius. I'm an air sign. I got no fucking interest in being held down. There's only one way to tie me up, and it's not going to involve telling.
It's going to involve masked wrestlers and.
Yes. Okay, maybe we can talk. Oh, this was so much fun. I
enjoyed this stream. I like talking with you, Dori. You're a lot of fun.
Thank you. And right back at you. And so with that, tell us, give us what's up. Give us what's going on. How long is your campaign going to be still in demand? I know it's in demand right now. Yeah. How's you still have that scented piece going?
Yeah. So
give us your what?
Here's the big news of the day. Okay, we've got 1 day left to back Pumpkin Spice Taylor, who is CG's first scented action figure. I made a little boo-boo. I said there would only be 10 of him available, but I accidentally sold 11. And I have to print these guys in batches of 5, right? Which means, I say print, he'll be poured. I don't know what you call it, right?
Yeah.
So the new number is 15, so I got to do 15 now. Okay. So, we've already sold 11, which is amazing. So more than I even planned to do in the first place. But you've got until tomorrow to get yourself a Pumpkin Spice Taylor, and I'm really looking forward to this. Right, I'm a huge action figure geek, and it made my day when I popped up to Latif with this crazy idea, like, how about we do a Halloween scented version of Taylor? And he was like, yeah, totally cool. We can do that. And we did it. And it's done pretty well. It's injected some life into the campaign. So big thank you to everyone who's backed Pumpkin Spice Taylor this week. I've really appreciated it. And it's generated interest, not just in the figure. Like I've been selling books and the digitals and all sorts of stuff this week, which has been really nice. So check out the campaign. Get yourself a Pumpkin Spice Taylor. You've got 1 day left. There's only 4 of them remaining, so don't wait on this. Check out Pumpkin Spice Taylor on the campaign. Just go to Indiegogo, search for the Adventure Taylors in Outer Space, or click that lovely link that Dori has up on screen right now.
Yeah, it is. It is pinned on. I know I'm gonna mess this up. I'm trying to.
The Dori has up on screen right now.
Yeah, it is. Trying to do multiple things on my computer, of course, it's gonna act all janky. But so yeah, it's pinned in chat as well as in the video description, and it's currently on the screen. I wanted to click over to. This again before we to make sure I had okay. That is all we have for today, folks. Thank you to everyone who was hanging out in chat. Let me make sure we didn't miss anything. I did this. Yeah, EVS is so slow. I do have, I think the Wonder Woman, I did a Wonder Woman, but I haven't done the one that EVS has done. But I'm probably going to go back and try it. And so yeah, I think yep. I don't see any comments we missed. I don't think. Oh my God, I hope I didn't. But anyway, but yeah, that's it. So have a great rest of your day. Oh, and the other thing for everyone watching, I do know you guys can also catch Mondays. Bargain Bin is Mondays.
Hell yeah. Well, I should let everyone know that tomorrow, actually, we're doing a bargain bin special at 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Eastern. And so the bargain bin guys and 6 other guests are venturing into Squid Game, and we'll see who survives that. So check that out. That's on Jacobus's channel. Who's going to live? Who's going to survive? We may not all be here to tell the tale afterwards. So you don't want to miss that one, do you?
Okay, and so that's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tell us what times again? In Aria time.
Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. Aria time. So
Aria time.
Keep an eye out for that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I am going to exit us out of here and thank everyone for being here and have a great day.
Very cool.